who we have in our midst this morning. You recognize him as Victor Newman on Young and the Restless. Eric Braeden is here, joining us live in our studio. Eric, it's good to see you.
I don't know whether I'm live or not.
Guess what? That red light right there, you are live, and that microphone is hot.
All right, I don't feel it right now. Anyway.
Good morning. What brings you to Charlotte? We're glad to have you here in our studios with us.
I came to see the Panthers.
You came to see the Panthers. Yes. So you were at the game yesterday?
I was at the game yesterday.
And your analysis?
Slightly disappointed. I don't know much about football, but when you return a punt,
yes,
you have a right to raise your hand for a fair catch, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Why didn't he do that?
Well...
Twice he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. And then the field goal kicker... What happened?
He didn't go quite in between
Does he kind of sort of miss an important moment?
Well, you know, Graham Gano, his foot's usually pretty reliable. But yeah, yesterday there were lots of misses in multiple categories. Coach Braeden here.
Yes, and I went to a low country boil.
Yeah? How did
in Matthew.
In Matthews?
Yes.
Yeah. And how was that?
The home of Dave and Susan Priestley. Mm-hmm. Very, very nice people. Mm-hmm. And some other guests there, and we had a lot of laughs, and a few too many bourbons.
A few too many bourbons.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was the only thing to wash down the low country boil with? There was nothing else to drink?
No. No water, nothing.
No water, no cheer wine,
but
none of that?
Great bourbons.
Great bourbons.
That's
okay.
Right.
So you said on the way here this morning that you had a little trouble getting here. What was going on? Was there a lot of traffic? I know the weather's not great.
Well, you know, I had an Uber driver, and they often are not from here.
You took an Uber?
Uber, exactly.
Look, Eric Braeden even uses Uber.
I think this one was from Ethiopia or Somalia, one of the two, and he wasn't quite sure.
He didn't know where the WBT
But nor was I.
So it was the blind leading the blind this morning?
Precisely, exactly. So we talked about soccer on the way. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah, you told us, because I said, well, what do you want to talk about before, during the commercial break? He says he wants to talk about the comedy hour.
The comedy hour tonight.
Yeah, what's
the debate?
the presidential debate is the comedy hour,
yes, it's going to be the comedy hour.
Are you going to be watching?
I will be watching. I think we will have to, whether you like it or not, We'll be glued to it. But I'll be on the plane back.
You'll be on the plane. Okay, well...
I may miss some of it.
Well, you'll probably see lots of highlights of it.
Look, it's obviously one of the most important things in American history right now, in modern history, and...
do you know who you're going to vote for?
I hope, of course, I hope they do some fact-checking.
You hope they do some fact-checking?
I hope they do some fact-checking.
On both candidates?
And of course. Of course.
Okay.
So they'll spend the 2 hours, an hour and a half?
Yes, hour and a half.
Checking facts. There's not going to be no debate. One or two statements from the first 5 minutes, and they'll be
fact-checking immediately. So
exactly.
Can you say publicly who you're going to vote for? Do you have a candidate who you support?
Let me say this.
Long pause.
I am, in certain moments, a rather sane person. So there's one person I will certainly not vote for.
Okay, so you've already determined who you're not going to vote for.
Precisely.
Okay. Hey, we got to go to break. We're out of time. It was good to have you. And I want to make sure folks know you got an autobiography coming out early next year?
In February.
In February.
Exactly.
Oh, good to see you, Eric.
I love to be here in Charlotte.
I know.
And, North Carolina.
And we asked you to come visit last time we were here, and you did.
The Panthers were, great last year, and they will be good again this year. Yeah. It's tough to come back after losing the Super Bowl. I went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
We're out of time.
When you lose, I'll be out of time. Well, goodbye.
It's good to see you. Say goodbye. Say we'll be back after this.
And don't get too angry tonight watching the debate.
We'll be back.